Bring in Chief Edwin Lopez now with the Miami-Dade Public Schools. Chief, thank you so much for what you're doing and for giving us your time tonight. I want to start with the Uvalde incident. Tragic as it was, even harder for so many of us to watch that video and the delayed response. Immediately after, what was your message to your team, your officers, about what to do, how to act?
Well, quite frankly, it's a message of that's consistent. It's a message that we've been pushing down historically here in Miami-Dade County. Time is of the essence. We've analyzed these critical incidents, these active shooter incidents, dealing from Columbine over 20 years ago to, Robb Elementary School most recently, and those in between. Not only in school settings, in K-12 settings particularly, but even in Virginia Tech and Florida State University. I mean, we've had shootings, unfortunately, in schools, outside of schools, in country concerts in Las Vegas, and movie theaters and in Colorado. And time is of the essence, we've learned. And there is no time to waste or to delay when it comes to confronting these violent offenders in our schools. And we train in a single person response. We're not waiting for secondary officers to respond. Yes, secondary officers and those will be coming and coming quickly. But the officer on the scene at each and every school site is trained and prepared to respond immediately and address the threat quickly.
So really, when you talk about that, and Uvalde's top of mind for so many of us, the chain of command issues, who's in charge, how is that communicated when maybe the person calling the shots is not the first one on the scene? How is that communicated to law enforcement, who are the first ones to arrive?
Well, each of our schools has a police officer on the campus. That officer is completely in charge until relieved by a supervisor. So the officer on the scene initially is not waiting for directions or commands. They are responding quickly. They're trained to address a threat, to neutralize a threat. There's no time to waste when we're dealing with these individuals, not waiting for directions. And our policies and procedures, our practices involve immediately addressing these threats aggressively, swiftly. And these folks, there's no time to negotiate with an active killer. We train to make them real dead real quick in Miami-Dade County.
Every single second counts. Chief, I'm curious, making officers aware with the physical building itself, the doors, the locks on the doors, the hallways, where the classrooms are. How much is that a focus of the training so that they go in and they're familiar with where they're going and it's not a new place?
We conduct vulnerability assessments at each and every school site with our primary SROs, our school resource officers, even responding officers. We do campus tours with local municipalities as well. In Florida, it's required that even the fire departments tour the police department, the school sites as well, in conjunction with the police departments, in order to become familiar with the landscape. We need to know where Building 3 is. We need to know where the cafeteria is. We need to know where the hallways are. And we have over 500 school sites in Miami-Dade County, and we need to be very familiar with it. Now, in terms of resources, we have over 30 police departments in addition to ours. In the Miami-Dade Schools Police Department. We're the largest school-based police department in the country with almost 500 police officers, just solely for our school district here in Miami-Dade County. So that, coupled with the local law enforcement agencies and the collaborative effort that we have, makes us a unique force here in South Florida.
And a lot of what you all are doing is reactive, right? You rush to the scene when something has happened, but there's a lot of preventative measures that many schools are taking in terms of security measures that are in place, doors that are supposed to remain locked, other ways to get into the school. But people are people, right? Mistakes are made. What vulnerabilities have you found in your training that you need to identify and that you want to address, not just in your district, but nationwide?
It's more, our drills are designed to really develop confidence in the officers, confidence in the communication system. We assess and test the communication systems, the interoperability between law enforcement agencies, the reaction of the school site administrator, the principal, in combination with the teachers. I mean, when it comes to school safety, it involves a multitude of entities, not only the police officer on campus, but it's also the counselors, the teachers, the principals, parents, I mean, whoever's on the own students. I mean, we have role players in some of these incidents, like the one that we had today, the large scale functional drill, because students are our allies as well. It's an additional layer of security that we have in our schools, the ability to communicate. Our police officers in our schools have a unique skill set. Yes, they're trained in order to build relationships with students, bonds. We coach, we mentor them, we teach class, we tutor them. But if an active shooter goes into a school, we're trained to quickly flip the script and address them with violent force, as violent or more violent that they present to us, or we respond right back at them.
take out the threat. Chief Lopez, thank you again for giving us some of your time tonight. Thank you for the training that you're doing. It's an important job, and it's critical right now, even more so than ever. We appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.